Hello, welcome to Film Conscious. My name is Erin.
And my name is Maddie.
If it's your first time here, hello. On this podcast, we discuss films and their various meanings and give our general take on them. We will chat about our favorite actors, scenes, songs, and some other important film stuff.
Bro. Please like and subscribe, especially because it's Halloween.
This is a
Celebrate
Halloween special.
Halloween special.
Spooky.
Ooh. This week we're going to be chatting about the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Wow.
Spooky.
Oh, scary. Here's a little bit of a summary for the series. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a supernatural fantasy drama series by Netflix produced from 2018 to 2020, created by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. The show follows Sabrina Spellman, played by Kiernan Shipka, a half-witch, half-mortal teenager while she balances her two opposing lifestyles, and lives life as a teenager in Greendale. The show was originally based on the comic book series published by Archie's Comics, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which started up in 1962. So that's quite a long time ago. The first live action adaptation premiered on ABC, which came out around like the mid 90s. I believe it's 1996, and it was simply just named Sabrina the Teenage Witch and gave more of like a modern spin on the previous comic version. And then I would say, arguably, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sheds light on the same story, but it carries a much darker undertone. It's TV 14, but it has, like, the lore is much richer, and its characters are more well done and methodical, I'd say. They're more three-dimensional.
They're spooky. My favorite actor in the film is Lachlan Watson, who plays Theo, but I have a little honorable mention to Jonathan Whitesell, who plays Robin Goodfellow. They're both queer in the film, and Lachlan is in real life. I'm not super sure about Jonathan. Not sure what he's up to today. I know he was an artist at some point. So, both amazing people, actors, human beings, and good queer representation in the film for its time. Because Netflix is a little iffy on their queer representation. They were getting better, they're kind of iffy now again, but we're getting somewhere.
I mean, this is Sabrina's, I don't remember how old this is. It's like probably like late
It's
20.
2018 is when it started, so that's pretty good timing.
Yeah. I feel like this is when their queer representation was still decent.
Yeah, I agree.
My favorite actor in the film is Tati Gabrielle, who plays Prudence. I'm a big fan of the castings for all the Weird Sisters, so Agatha and Dorcas are very good. I don't know who plays them, but I think they're casted very well. Prudence, of course, takes the cake. Um, she's also in The Last of Us, which if you haven't watched it, please watch it. We'll probably do an episode on it later. I also want to mention Miranda Otto, who plays Zelda. She was also in Talk to Me, like the more recent horror film, and also Hilda, who's played by Lucy Davis. I feel like these two were casted pretty perfectly. There's also just a lot of witty conversation and bickering between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we think that the castings were good for everyone, or do we think that any of them could have been changed?
I think a majority of them were good. Um, yeah. I would have to like look at the list to come up with any that I would think weren't perfect matches. But I think in any series there's going to be someone that's slightly off, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my mind.
Which is really good because Sabrina is a long series and there's a lot of
There
characters.
are a lot of characters. My favorite quote in the film is said by Theo. Theo says, I feel more myself in a boy's clothes. Actually, Dad, I don't think I am a girl at all. And damn, that line hit me. I said it hit me like a wrecking ball. Um, it just, it's so real. Like, I don't know. It's just real. I just felt it. I wrote a second one that Zelda said, "She annoyed me, so I killed her and buried her in the yard." I feel like if you get it, you get it. If you've seen the show, you know what this is referencing. It's just a little silly and funny and really Zelda.
Very, very Zelda.
Yeah.
Um, I want to add on to your first quote. It's that like I they do queer representation, but it's also I believe it is set in the 1960s,
Yeah.
or around that time, 60s, 70s. Um, so I don't know how accurate queer representation would be for that time, but it feels accurate.
I think it's very much Lachlan transitioned, the actor who plays Theo. It's giving the same scenario that Elliot Page went through, of
Right.
like they started with an actor who then realized that they were trans and transitioned during the series, so they just incorporated that into the series. So I feel like they kind of took a real scenario and just went with it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, do we know if Lachlan was transitioning in real time like Elliot, or was it
I
more
don't think in real time because they were younger, but I know that I'm not sure what pronouns they go by right now, but they got top surgery and some things like that. So, yeah. I
okay?
think at the time they were a little bit younger, but later in life.
That's also that's I feel like very such a special role for them too.
Yeah.
Being able to represent a trans character on screen,
Hmm.
that's very it feels good. We
Yeah.
don't have that much representation or much opportunity to do that.
I do think Netflix did the right thing with both of those actors, where Netflix could have just gotten a new actor to play the role, but they just decided to go with the actor that they had and like didn't discriminate on it. So I think that's one thumbs up for Netflix.
I would hope that like the Sabrina team is super supportive. I feel
Yeah.
like them are in some way. I feel
Mhm.
like share a queer undertone.
Yeah.
My favorite, I have two favorite quotes. Um, One is by Hilda when she says, "That's why you're eating those almond cookies, because almond hides the taste of cyanide," which I think is really funny because Hilda is shown as this very soft character. She's very, I feel like in a way she's kind of bubbly,
Yeah.
happy most of the time, but I think that's why people underestimate her, especially in the witch community.
Mhm.
So it's always fun seeing when, she shows how much she can really do and how powerful she actually is. Like she gets excommunicated from the Church of Night and she's just like, meh, I did it for Sabrina. Like I don't, the risk doesn't really like trump me as this big thing because I did it in the case of my niece,
Yeah.
which is really sweet. Um, And then another one I have by Zelda as well. She says it's diabolical and not in a good way. And I think that just really shows how much of like I don't know. She's always like scheming. I love Zelda. She's great.
Yeah. I feel like Zelda as an aunt would just be a great experience.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay. Favorite moment.
Favorite moment? I said anything with Theo and Robin, which I can't remember which season
I
Robin actually shows up. Oh,
it's
I literally wrote it down.
oh,
Season three.
yeah.
So any like time the carnival situation showed up, I just love carnivals. I've never had carnivals, like I've never gone to one. I
Mhm.
like never went to fairs or anything, but seeing them in films and series, I'm like, oh, that seems like a good time. And their carnival just like it looks crazy. Like we would run around and like have a great time. So season three, around that time, I think there's a lot of moments that really were like they connected to my childhood and felt nostalgic, even though I never went to a carnival. You get me?
I get you. I get you. We need to get you this carnival fair experience.
I feel like it's kind of like a Ren fair. Any type of fair, to be honest. It's like you
Yeah.
just run around and go crazy.
You don't have to like really care. You're just
Yeah,
having fun. And then you eat food. And it's a good
true,
time.
true.
Um, I will say I think it might be quite different from a Ren fair because I think people at a Ren fair are more expressive and like
Mhm.
are like very
I think I'm thinking of like a carnival right now in the spooky season, like a
uh
Halloween carnival.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's more like a Ren fair.
I don't think I've ever we need to have more of those.
Yeah, we don't have very many.
Boo. This sucks. The people whoever
Disappointing.
yeah, disappointing.
Mhm.
They need to fix this. Um, I literally just said anytime that they had annual rituals, so like
Mhm.
for example, Lupercalia, the Feast of Feasts, the Hare Moon, or just like the winter solstice slash Yule,
Yeah.
it's for sure. It's like not only cool to see the wardrobe changes that they go through. There's actually a lot of wardrobe changes I realized throughout the show, but
Mhm.
especially during these times. Um, Also, the way the creators decided to present the witch lore, I think is it feels very fluid, and it doesn't feel like they're just like, yeah, Lupercalia, and they do this in this like cheesy way. It feels very, it matches the vibe. It feels right.
I agree. I feel like they had a few like spells and like incantations,
Yeah.
but like they didn't overdo it. I feel like a lot of witch
Yeah.
shows can overdo the spells and like overdo the theatrical part of being a witch, but they
Mhm.
didn't do that, which I like.
Which feels very it feels very real. I'm like trying to think of a good word for it.
Yeah. It's just authentic. Yeah.
They do a lot of like n kind of nursery rhyme inspired spells, which I really enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
when I think it's Shirley, like Shirley casts a spell on Zelda. I just got to that episode after rewatching, and she sings the worm song.
Hmm.
Very, I don't know, it's very spooky, very, very spooky. I love
Yeah.
it.
Overall rating, I'm gonna say 8.5 out of 10. Like I say every time, I'm a harsh critic. I feel like there's certain aspects I can't really like name any, but in my mind I just can't give it an amazing 10 out of 10. I want to, but also I never do. So I don't really have any like specific reason. It's just an 8.5.
Just
I just am a critic. What can I say?
that's good. That's good. You're harsh. We
Yeah.
like. I gave it. I'm not a very harsh critic. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Um, it's a long series, but I've managed to rewatch it like about 4 times. This is like my fifth run of
Mhm.
rewatching. And that's pretty incredible because I have a bad attention span, and I think this is the only like long series with long episodes that I can rewatch
Mhm.
without.
I feel like each episode there is a lot going on all the time, so it is hard to get bored.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite song? I'm saying Dream a Little Dream. I just really like the original version of the song, but also they do a cover of it. I'm not sure who actually does the cover. But it starts with Claire de Lune, which is just an amazing song. And then it transitions into the cover of Dream a Little Dream. Um, it's just a great song. It's spooky. It's very like I don't know, it just embodies the entire series. The entire soundtrack itself is very spooky. It's also nostalgic. There's some songs that I'm like, that was a banger from my childhood. So yeah, I also wanted to mention Dream a Little Dream. It actually hasn't been used as much as I thought it had. There's a lot more covers of it, but some bigger things you might have heard it in is Stranger Things and The Joker. So yeah, very spooky, spooky song.
I want to see who originally sang Dream a Little Dream. Because
Yeah, because this is a cover of it.
a lot of 60s songs tend to be covers, so
Yeah.
I think it's hard to kind of root where it is. His name is Fabian Andre and Wilbur Schwant, and the
Mm.
lyrics are by Gus Kahn from 1931. So it's a very early song,
Yeah.
and it got really popular again in the 50s, 60s. So I think, I don't know, it's a very timeless song.
Yeah. It is very like it gives stalker. Like it's kind of creepy.
Yes and no. I feel like that's the case with a lot of 60s songs and 50s songs. You can
Yeah.
kind of twist it to be very dreamy, or you could
Hmm.
twist it to be uncomfortable, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. There's also a lot of covers in Sabrina and original music that is from the 50s, 60s, obviously because it is set in the 60s.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very nice touch. It makes everything better, in my opinion.
Yeah. What was your favorite song?
My favorite song, I have two. I said I Put a Spell on You by Sylvia Black, and it's a very dreamy song. I think it's also a cover of like the original song, and I usually have an aversion to modern covers of 50s to 60s music, but this one hits really, really good.
Mhm.
Feels very whimsical. And I also chose Witchcraft by Marvin Gaye. This was sung in the 60s, though it's not the original. I believe Frank Sinatra was the first one to sing Witchcraft, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's also just a very lovely and a very like classic song, especially for Halloween. It's very upbeat. I love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. Some things that we wanted to touch on. Um, my first question is, and this has so many answers or maybe no answer at all. Who is truly the antagonist of the show? So this isn't straightforward, but I feel like some options could be the Dark Lord, so Satan.
Hmm.
It could be, some people could say Lilith, but I don't think so. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Um, there could be like the multiple demons and witches that we see throughout the show.
Hmm.
Um,
I feel like just like purposefully you would say the Dark Lord, like you I feel like that's just like the straightforward answer that like a typical person would say. But
right.
I feel like there really isn't like a main antagonist. I feel like there's just a lot of like there's just a bunch of side people.
A lot of people have character arcs.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Prudence and the Weird Sisters, they
Mhm.
change a lot over the course of the show. Same with Lilith.
People
Uh,
would all say that all of them are like evil, but I feel like all of them are just like they're just on the darker side of things, but Sabrina is as well. Like that's the thing about Sabrina, she has her light side and her dark side, and that's just life.
it's not even like a this is good, this is bad.
Yeah.
I I saw a thing previously from Brittany Broski that was like if you don't know, I like Brittany Broski. I love her podcast. Um, she said that it's like heaven and hell isn't necessarily good and bad. It's more chaos, which is hell,
Hmm.
and then order, which is heaven,
Yeah.
which makes a lot more sense when you look at it that way.
Hmm.
And then I think that's like a big, that's such a big part of it is that so many people see like hell is like you're so bad, you're just a bad person. But it's like it's just this chaotic place where like chaotic people go.
Yeah.
I will say they do have mentionings of Christianity
Yeah.
with the show. There's like angels and what.
Hmm.
Um, so I think there's representation there, but for the sake of showing that that way of looking at it is very skewed,
Hmm.
right? It's like all of these angels think that the people from hell or witches are bad, which
Yeah.
is the case. Like that's they don't have bad intentions all of the time. All of the time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I feel like you could draw that into the point with Lilith and her character arc.
Yes, for sure.
I think I always liked Lilith, even like when she was depicted as evil or like the bad character. Like, I feel like she was just like, she's just misunderstood. Like, she's just living her life, doing day-to-day activities. Like, she's not, I don't know, she honestly was hilarious. Like, I don't know, I felt her story. I was like, I get you.
I feel like people depict bad people look at complex characters and they're like, "Oh, they're such a bad character. They're a villain. They're like the antagonist of the show," which is so wrong. And I think that's exactly the case for Lilith because why wouldn't you be like oh, like why would you react differently than Lilith if that's the way that you were born and that's how like your life went?
Yeah.
Um
I feel like it does kind of connect to how women are treated. Like,
I mean, that's a big part of the show too, because I don't know. I think it's the 60s too, where like women first started protesting as well, where it's
mhm,
like this was like the uprise of that, and that was represented in the beginning in the high school as well, like when Roz
yeah.
starts the club and everything.
hmm The entire show is really just like girl power. Like, I hate saying girl power because I really like it's just a weird phrase, but like it is like Sabrina can do what she wants and she does it. Like, she doesn't care what anyone else thinks. She's powerful, she's a leader, and I feel like Lilith is very much that as well.
It's very strong feminine bonding throughout the show, I
Yeah.
think. And I kind of like it that, I mean, we have some good male characters, for
hmm
example, Nick and Ambrose.
Yeah.
Um, Also very complicated characters, but
hmm
then a lot of the higher people in power, which tend to be men, like the Dark Lord, Faustus, those people are shed in a very misogynistic light, which
Yeah.
I think is very right for the time.
Yeah. And then Zelda is very much, again, like a big figure of being like proud and not caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how they seem to do this in the show, but I've noticed that, like, for Zelda, Lady Blackwood, Lilith,
Mhm.
you're always connected with a man. In this case, Lady Blackwood and Zelda, it is to Faustus, and then Lilith is to the Dark Lord. But they are submissive with this purpose and the intention of getting power.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like the purpose of having that there is like when Zelda falls in love with Faustus, it's kind of her stepping stone to power, and then later on they kind of cancel out the male power, which is kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah. When she takes over the school, it's like, oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Least favorite character. What would you say to that? Because I can't think of any.
Um, I I mean I understand him, but I don't really like Harvey. He's like kind of just like there. Also the love between Harvey and Sabrina, like I get it, but like
I feel like he's giving very Disney kid.
I mean he is.
He is.
Rock Lynch.
So I feel like that's what's throwing me off. Is like if he wasn't Disney kid, he's
Yeah.
giving Justin Bieber.
Well, I think he's fitting for the role for sure.
Yeah.
I think they chose a good person to play Harvey,
Mm.
but I think sometimes he does irk me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you could say the Dark Lord. I feel like there's not really any redeeming qualities of him, to be honest.
Yeah, he kind of just exists.
He's kind of just
I
there.
feel like a lot of times he's like not even there.
No. I mean, he's mostly in his goat form.
Yeah.
You don't really see him until like what, season
Later
4?
season, yeah.
Oh, also this isn't a least favorite character, but we didn't really talk about Ambrose. Ambrose
I
is
love Ambrose.
so good. I love him so
He's
much.
he's great. He's just very chill. I don't know, he does his own thing. He's like always in his lab, but he's like a smart genius, but he's like really queer and artsy and adorable. I love him.
And he's always like helping everyone. I think he's
Mhm.
just, you know,
He's just
he
really humble.
he
Yeah.
is. I love how he's just so chill about it. He's like, yeah, I blew up the Vatican. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it happens. I feel like so the guy who plays Nicholas Scratch Gavin
Oh, yeah.
Leatherwood, I don't love him.
Okay.
I don't
Like,
know. I think it's just like he's put out to be that very like I'm an attractive man who's like a bad guy, so Sabrina loves me.
yeah.
Like I'm not a big fan of that in series. Like we don't need this attractive man to be like all weird when like
That's
why?
true.
Why is he there?
He is a very bad boy character, and like it's sometimes to a point where it's cheesy because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, the girls want me, and then in the series they do, even though all the women characters are so like
Yeah.
they're so what's the word? Like they're very confident and they're very secure
Mhm.
in themselves and have like a straightforward line of like action for what they want to do, and then they're like, oh, I love Nick. We've all dated Nick. Like
Yeah. We haven't talked about Rosalind very much.
Oh,
I
Rob.
really like her.
Yeah.
Just as like she doesn't actually I feel like she doesn't have much in the series. Like she's always there, but like she's kind of just
I
there.
I would agree. I think she does get screen time. However, she's kind of just like with the friend group. Like we see
Yeah.
her backstory.
But I wish there was more complexity to her character.
Right. Right. I
Yeah.
think when it gets lost after season 2, we don't really
Mhm.
get much from Roz.
But I do like her. I like her as an actor. I
Yeah.
think they cast her well. Um,
Do you think that Nick was it like I know we don't like him as a character, but do you think he was casted well, or would you have done something different?
if you're casting for like an attractive like
Whoa.
guy, okay. But like I think it's so hard for me because like they're just like not attractive to me. So it's like,
It's not even like I
he's
like
not even that conventionally attractive.
he's
Like,
right. He's like not like I mean I if you're picking him as a role to be like a cheesy bad boy lover boy,
mm,
then sure.
he's cheesy. Yeah.
You fit the
But I feel
role.
like that's the same with Harvey. Like they were picking a guy that they were like, this guy's conventionally attractive, and for me, it just wasn't it. I thought Theo was attractive, not Harvey. So Agatha and Dorcas, I feel like they made both of them to seem very like kind of dumb characters.
Yes and no, because it was like a duo and a trio kind of situation. But
I
then
feel
again,
like Prudence like overpowers both of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely, I think, the strongest though out of all three of them.
Yeah.
We do get to see a lot more of the power that she actually has as a
Mhm.
witch.
But I don't love when they like have a dynamic of three people and one of them's like better than the other two.
Right. I think that's just so it makes it very feels toxic in a way. Or what like in the case of the Weird Sisters, it feels wrong to have one person that's better than the others.
Yeah.
I think in the original comics, I'm sh pretty sure it was that way, where she
Well,
had
because TV series tend to do that, where they have like the really like leader of the group, and then they have some like people, but they always depict the people that are lower down as not as smart, which I think is kind of interesting. Like those people can be not leaders and still be really smart.
I don't think Agatha is depicted as like dumb though. Like I think
Mhm.
Agatha knows what she's doing, and the fact that she defied Prudence in that way, like because she was the original person to think of that idea,
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, kill Harvey's
Do you
brother.
think Dorcas was depicted as
Yeah,
like
sure.
slightly more stupid?
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know that I love that.
I think
I get why they do it, but like,
I don't like that either. I don't think that they should be depicting anyone as stupid because and in the lens of it being lesser than. But I
yeah.
don't think that they depicted Agatha in relation to that. I think that was kind of
Mhm.
like a very, very smart middle ground stupid, which
Yeah.
was it felt weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you would call that because that's so common.
It's really common.
Very, very common in any series, I feel.
Well, it's like depicting someone as like a nerd or like those just like little off categories where like this person's really sportsy and like this just happens all the time where they like put people in categories, which yes, people are in categories in life, but that doesn't make them any less like leader, smart, main character.
True. Like when you stereotype people into those roles, it feels in a way derogatory because it's
Yeah.
like, why are you depicting them like this?
Mhm.
And we still do it now, which I think is something really big in the film industry that
Yeah.
like we should be changing.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting
I think
better.
it's getting better, yeah.
I don't know in the sake of Netflix. I feel like Netflix
Yeah.
right now.
I feel like some of their bigger shows they've done better with that though.
I
Like I
always the
hate to bring up Stranger Things, but there's new season coming, and I feel like those characters, yes, they have the stereotypes of like geek and nerd, but all of them feel on an equal plane of like intelligent.
yeah. They all know what they're doing and they help take a big part of helping.
Yeah. The iconic Salem. What do you?
I just wanted to talk about the cat.
Okay.
I feel like we don't get to see. I mean, we see Salem, but I wish he had more screen time.
Yeah.
Because you're originally they're goblins, and then they take the form of an animal. So, which I think is really interesting. And they show a little bit of that, but I wish they showed more.
Yeah.
Like, especially because he's so close to Sabrina.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's kind of all
Yeah,
it.
they cast that cat so well.
At very, is it a real cat? It is, right?
Yeah, they have the what do they I don't know what they call the animals, but they have like the acting animals that are all trained. They definitely have a name for it, but
The animal actors.
yeah, they cast him so well.
It was the same cat throughout the whole show, or they changed the cat throughout the show.
No idea. Lex sister relationship between Hilda and Zelda.
Yes, and this relates to a quote that you shared earlier. Like she
The grave, like they're very they compete all the time, but in a loving way. They hate each other, but they love each other. It's a great dynamic.
That's really good. I think though it when they were younger it was a lot more toxic.
Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of relationships between siblings, though. Like when you're younger, it is kind of just chaos. And then as you grow older, you're like, this person is my favorite person ever.
I think though in the series, because we know that in school. Zelda was basically bullying Hilda,
Yeah.
right? And she kind of always Zelda sees herself as very formative to her dedication to the Dark Lord
Yeah.
and to being a witch. And she holds that to a very high value to the point where sometimes it disrupts how she sees her sister and she sees her as lesser than, right? So it's like
Mhm.
I think that bleeds into her adult life sometimes where we see her like when Hilda gets excommunicated for the sake of Sabrina, Zelda's like, "Well, you're excommunicated, so you can't go to these things, and that's your fault. This is all your fault."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I they get over it, and
Hmm.
it's very sweet. I think that arc is very important,
Yeah.
but there is like complexity in that.
I feel like that's gonna happen if you live together, though.
Yeah,
Most of the series they're living together. So it's like if you're gonna be that close with your sibling, you're gonna have this dynamic of
I
I
think
feel
this
like it's a good way to show that you can have conflicting lives but still really love someone. Their
right
love for each other is still very strong.
for sure, and I think
Yeah.
they work together very well as sisters and as witches and as a family.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to talk about something. I don't know if you want to.
Hmm.
You can keep this then. Zelda. No one really talks about this, but there's a part in the series where she self-harms. Like after she fights with Sabrina, she's whipping her back, and then Hilda comes in and is like, "What are you doing?" Like, and kind of gets her back on track, and they
Hmm.
sleep together and kind of let her calm down. So they're always
Hmm.
there for each other, right? But I think that is something that I think a lot of people overlook is that Zelda was self-harming at one point.
I feel like that comes with like if you're gonna think highly of yourself and like show, I don't know, I feel like the most powerful people are very self-conscious.
Right,
You can come off as very powerful, yet you're not actually that, like, you're very self-critical.
right,
So I think it's probably a good thing that they showed that, like, you can be really proud of yourself and come off as confident, but you're not actually as confident as you might seem to be.
right. Because it's just like a lot of people who are confident. It's not like their self-consciousness is eradicated. Like you're still insecure, and
Yeah.
I think it's a matter
Everyone has their things that they're insecure about.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important part of the show,
Mm.
especially with the dynamic of her. She's not Sabrina's mom; she's her aunt.
Yeah.
Knowing that she's not Sabrina's mother is a very weak point for her. And
Mm.
she's like, we shouldn't have taken Sabrina in because we're bad mothers. Like, we're
Mm.
bad caretakers for her, which is
Mm.
the case. But, like, feels so vulnerable about that, which is so, I think, very, very important to highlight. That I'm sure was never highlighted in the comics.
Yeah.
Did we talk about favorite seasons?
No, but I would just say going back to like season three with the carnival probably was my favorite,
Okay.
just because the carnival and Robin is there, and
Robin,
it was
Robin.
really cutesy. They were all still very close. I feel like later seasons the friend group kind of like disperses a little bit, which tends to happen in life, but like I feel like in season three they were all really close together.
For sure. Because they were going to that carnival all as
Yeah.
a team.
Yeah.
Um, I think season 4 gets really muddy.
Mm.
I like, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the last season. I think it's definitely not as good as the first three,
I feel like you expect that with any series for it to slowly kind of dwindle.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that. Do you want to
Hmm.
talk about the Riverdale thing? Because I mean, it's very minor.
About what?
Riverdale, it's very minor. We
Oh,
both watched it, but it's like in the show.
I hate Riverdale. I will always be a hater. Sorry, I know people love it. It's just not my thing. And Sabrina's way superior.
You would think Riverdale would be good because Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was good,
Mhm.
but it's so not. Like I've never seen it, but I know people who have watched it, and I feel like they also don't like it even though they've watched the whole thing.
It's similar for me to Vampire Diaries. It's that same like vibe. It's okay. Vampire Diaries is better than Riverdale. Riverdale sucks. But Vampire Diaries again is not my favorite thing in the world. I just don't love that type of series. But I for some reason love Sabrina. I feel like Sabrina is just more complex. The other ones were kind of just not very complex.
I'm sure that they had better what's the not cast, but like the people who were working on Sabrina, I think were just like they were very skilled and I think they were very dedicated to the show. And
I
it
think
sh
a big piece of it is a lot of the actors in Riverdale are like 20-year-old actors playing 15-year-olds, which really gives it a yucky vibe. Whereas Sabrina, they are somewhat closer to the actual age that they're playing.
Riverdale definitely feels like Euphoria but worse. It's like
Yeah.
cheesy teenagers having sex and like why? Why are we
Yeah.
doing
It's definitely not my favorite, but people love it, so, you do you.
to one's own?
Gonna shout out a series instead of a film this week because we talked about a series, and also because a great short one to watch right now is Over the Garden Wall. Me and Maddie already rewatched it, but honestly, I'm thinking tomorrow, Halloween, I'm probably gonna spend all night watching Over the Garden Wall.
Agreed.
Um, my second shout out is Rushmore. It's a Wes Anderson film. It's very, um, again, nostalgic. I always say nostalgic. It's like my favorite word to say, but it just is. And it's again very fall. It's the season. Yeah.
I'd say Wes Anderson soundtracks are very fall as
Yeah.
well. Um, and I will say for mine, I kind of want to add an answer.
Mhm.
My brightness has done this. I want to add an answer. I would say Fantastic Mr. Fox is a very good fall movie, and that's one of my all-time favorites. Go watch it. I also put Over the Garden Wall, which is we've already rewatched it, so it's like a constant annual watch since it came out. I also know the creator Patrick McHale. He just did like como se dice? I think he did an event at Requiem Cafe, and it was pretty long. It was like 2 weeks long of him just like being there, and he had like merch there and all of these events, and I'm really sad I missed out on it. But if he does it again, please go. And then I also chose Death Becomes Her, which is like a queer Halloween classic, I think.
Mhm.
Very good film.
Okay, so that's all for this week. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween and a fantastic fall season.
Thank you for watching. Let the spooky season go on to November, and we will see you for another fall episode.
Spooky.
You have an amazing Halloween.
There are going to be resources right after this. Check them out if you need them. They are very helpful. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.